Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Teacher Max, and welcome to Vlogmas number 5. And for today's video, I'm going to share with you my Christmas presentation, which I usually show my elementary students. Of course, as a proud ambassador of the Philippines, I make it sure that my students not only learn about Western culture, but also Filipino culture. So this presentation is about Christmas in the Philippines.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this.
Okay, let me share with you Christmas in the Philippines. And the very first thing that I share with my students is that in the Philippines, we celebrate Christmas for a very long time because Christmas starts in September and ends in December. That's why we call them the burn months: September, October, November, December. And my students were like, burr, burr, burr. But yes, as early as September, many establishments start putting up Christmas decors and many malls start playing Christmas songs. Yes, and that's what I really miss in the Philippines. But my students were like, wow, Irvin Sensei, you really celebrate Christmas for a very long time. And that's very true. And that's what I really, really, really miss. Okay. Then, of course, I share with my students that we have what we call as a Christmas parol or lantern, okay? And that it has many types. Some are made of plastic and some are made of paper. And of course, some are illuminated. And they were like, woo, they look so good, Irvin Sensei. Okay, and then of course, I tell my students that we usually put it in front of our houses. If Christmas tree is the traditional symbol of Christmas, in the Philippines, we could say that parol is one of the most prominent symbols of Christmas in the Philippines. Okay, then, of course, I also share with my students that some houses in the Philippines are illuminated during Christmas, just like what you see on the screen. And of course, I told them that there's this popular street in the Philippines. Do you know Policarpio Street? Because along Policarpio Street, you will see all houses that are illuminated and they all look so beautiful. I've been to Polycarp Street for a number of times when I was young, and I would really love to go back and see all the illuminated houses, okay, in Polycarp Street. But yeah, my students were like, oh, sugoy, sugoy, and they would like to how they would like to illuminate their own houses, Japanese houses. Okay. Then of course, just like what I said earlier, malls of course are the very first um establishment that start putting up Christmas decors, and of course they have like musical fountain shows, illumination shows, and of course you see all the big Christmas trees right inside the malls. I really love going to the malls not only because it's air conditioned, but of course the decoration that they put really makes you feel the spirit of Christmas. Okay. And of course, one important tradition that we have in the Philippines, of course, is caroling. Of course, children, not only children, but adults too, go to different houses and of course sing Christmas carols like Sa May Bahay Ang Aming Bati, Merry Christmas, nawawalhati, ang pag-ibig ay siyang naghari. Ta-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I forgot. Ang sanhi po ng pagparito, hingi po ng aginaldo, at kung sakali kami perwisyo, pasensya na kayo kami namamasko. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. There you go! Namamasko po! And of course, sometimes of course if the people okay in the house give you money, you would say thank you, ang babait ninyo, thank you. Oh my god, I miss caroling. Do you still do caroling? Of course it's pandemic, right? Maybe there's online caroling. Okay, and of course since Filipinos are Catholics, we do simbang gabi. And of course, even if you say gabi, of course, the Christmas mass is actually held at 4 a.m. And of course, it's a way for us to, how do you say it, to commemorate, of course, the birth of our dear Lord Jesus Christ. But at the same time, they say that if you complete the 9 days of Simbang Gabi, your wish will come true. Okay. Have you ever made a wish after completing Simbang Gabi? I'm not sure if I have completed Simbang Gabi, but of course, what's important is that we keep rather the faith. Okay. And of course, after attending the mass or the simbang gabi, we make sure to eat Christmas at the traditional Christmas food of the Philippines, which are bibingka and puto bumbong. Oh my God, I love these two. But I really prefer eating puto bongbong, okay, in the morning right after attending Simbang Gabi. And the students were like, oh, Murasaki. Okay, that purple food, okay, they like it. Okay, and I told them that it's sweet and we usually pair it with some coconut and brown sugar. Yeah, and then, of course, I forgot how much this food costs, but I told my students that they are actually cheap, but very delicious. Oh my, I miss all the Christmas food that we have in the Philippines. And talking about food, I usually tell my students that we have what we call as Noche Buena. That in the Philippines, we usually just eat light dinner, but then when the clock strikes 12, okay, shifting from the 24th to the 25th, the family feast, okay, with what we call as Noche Buena. And of course, what are the staples? You have, of course, lechon, and the students were like, buta, buta, or pork. And they're very excited to try it. Unfortunately, we don't have it here in Japan. And of course, we have, of course, for long life, we have pasta, and of course, pancit. Of course, queso de bola, the Christmas ham, the usual company giveaway during Christmas, and of course, fruit salad. Okay. And of course, I also tell my students that in the Philippines, usually schools hold Christmas parties. Of course, guys, here in Japan, we don't have Christmas parties, but I tell my students that we have like singing and dancing, and of course, eating, of course, and at the same time, the most important part of the Christmas party is the exchange gift. And of course, I forgot what term we use for monito monita. Is that what, or Kris Kringle, right? When we do like something long, something circular, something soft, something hard, and then back in the 90s, we all go to how do Blue Magic. That's where we buy our something long, something hard. Do we still have Blue Magic now in the Philippines? Oh, yeah, but I miss having Christmas parties. And when I was still before coming to Japan for the JET program, I usually perform, dance. Okay, I dance with my fellow teachers, or sometimes I host the Christmas party. There you go. So that's what I usually share about Christmas in the Philippines. And of course, after Christmas, I tell my students some information about New Year. Of course, I tell my students that in the Philippines, we collect 12 round fruits, okay? Because 12 symbolizes the 12 months. And at the same time, why round? Because usually the round shape symbolizes coins or money. And that if you're able to collect these round fruits, you'll be able to get money all throughout the year. Oh! How about you guys? Do you do this tradition? Okay, do you follow this practice? Okay, and of course, another tradition that we have in the Philippines, which I'm pretty sure is not true for everybody, is of course jump, 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 brother. Okay, so of course, many Filipinos believe that if you jump, okay, when the clock strikes 12, is that you'll get taller. Unfortunately, for Teacher Max, it didn't happen. But of course, just for the sake of the tradition, I still do jump, okay, every 12 o'clock when the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Day. Okay, another tradition that we have in the Philippines is that we make noise, which is very opposite, guys. Here in Japan, what they usually do during Oshogats, that's what they call it, or New Year's, that they visit shrine. Of course, they pay respect to their gods, and of course say a prayer, and it's very quiet. But of course in the Philippines, we make noise, of course, as a sign of our celebration of welcoming the new year, and at the same time to drive the evil spirits away. And we make use of any material that could create noise, and that's what I really miss, guys. I miss woo shouting and saying or yelling Happy New Year. Yeah, oh my God, I miss New Year and Christmas in the Philippines. Of course, hanabi or fireworks. I told my students that in the Philippines, usually it's not only a specific area, but usually if the family has the capacity to buy some fireworks, and of course they do, of course, display. Okay, so there are a lot of fireworks, as you can see on the screen, right, all over the city in Manila, Makati, or the whole NCR. You'll see a lot of fireworks displays, and they are also beautiful. Do you love fireworks, guys? I love fireworks so much. Okay, oh, that's the end. So these are the usual things that I share to my students about Christmas and New Year in the Philippines. So what do you think, guys? So this is my usual presentation, and after this, I actually asked my students to create their original parol design, which of course I'll be showing you right after this presentation. But yeah, my students enjoy learning about Christmas and New Year in the Philippines because they don't know so much about the Philippines. They would usually know about, of course, America or the UK. But since we are a proud Filipino, we raise our flag, we make it sure to share our culture to share my culture, rather, of course, our culture to my students. So now let me share with you my students' original design of Christmas parol. So what do you think, guys? Did you enjoy Teacher Max's Christmas presentation? I hope you did. So thank you for watching this Vlogmas. And of course, I hope you're enjoying Teacher Max's Vlogmas series. I'm really trying my best to do this daily vlogging. And let me say, it's not easy. But of course, let me end this vlog the usual way. Please join me in saying, let's enjoy life and live life to the max. See you tomorrow in Vlogmas number 6.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can